Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again for a Terrifier 3 spoiler review video for you guys today. You guys know I went to the West Coast premiere, the Hollywood premiere of this film at Beyond Fest at the Egyptian Theater, and I put up like a out of the theater, reaction video with a couple of friends and stuff like that a couple days ago. If you guys haven't seen that video, link to that should be in the description box, so you'll find it on my channel. Shot some video over there in Hollywood, and just wanted to give you guys, my thoughts on the film a day or two after I saw it, and because a lot of people are going, Brandon, you're always so negative. You're always so negative when you're watching these movies and giving your reviews and stuff. You're such a negative asshole, and stuff like that. I didn't think I came off that negative in that video, but this movie, Terrifier 3, takes place 5 years after the second film, which I watched, by the way. I had it in my collection for a long time on 4K Part 2, and I, got around to watching it because my friend gave me a ticket to go to Beyond Fest to see Part 3. So, I'm like, what, to get in, for preparation, I have to watch Part 2, So I popped in the 4K, watched Part 2, thought that was cool. A lot of crazy gore in it, thought that was a lot of fun. It was a little long. Part 2 was just a little long. But at the same time, it was cool. The gore was cool and everything like that. So I got, watched that in preparation for Part 3. And like I said, this Part 3 takes place 5 years after Part 2. And Sienna and her brother are, dealing with the trauma of what happened to them in the second film, with all the killing that went down. Sienna is coming out of like a mental hospital kind of place. Her brother is in like college or high school or whatever, doing his thing, and they're dealing with people like looking at him going, he's the one that he's part of that whole craziness that happened with Art the Clown and all that jazz. And Sienna's coming out just trying to figure out what she's doing with herself. And of course Art the Clown is at it again, out there slashing and taking names and stuff like that. And that's pretty much the synopsis of this movie. The gore sequences, the kill sequences are pretty graphic and pretty cool and everything like that. Don't get me wrong, I love that stuff because I grew up, watching like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and all that stuff. Like, pretty much people like me and, people of my generation were going to see Friday the 13th and those movies for the kills. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much why people are going to see these Terrifier movies. You know what I mean? We're not getting like big stories, big story arcs and things like that. So it's pretty much in the same vein as those kind of movies. Pretty much watching it for the gore and the kills and stuff like that. But other than that, there's like a lot of funny moments in Part 3. That when you watch the movie with a big audience that's really into these kind of movies, like the audience I saw this movie with at Beyond Fest, it was a lot of fun. Like seeing the different cameos that they had in here with like what's his name, Clint Howard and Tom Savini and all these different cool people, Daniel Roebuck and stuff like that. There were some really funny parts in this movie, but there's also a lot of like advertising for this movie too. You know what I mean? Like, they're saying, like, people are going to this movie and needing barf bags. So, like, they made Terrifier 3 barf bags and stuff like that so people can throw up in. The movie's not that bad. You know what I mean? The movie's not that hardcore, that crazy that I think people need barf bags. No one in my theater was, like, passing out from the sheer horrificness, or horrificness? Is that even a word? Of the stuff that's happening on there. Because we all know it's fake. We all know it's just, for fun. You know what I mean? Like, I can maybe tell, say, like, back in the day when the movie The Exorcist came out, maybe back then people weren't used to shit like this, but, like, the way people are now, all desensitized and shit, this movie doesn't need no barf bags and stuff like that, unless you're getting, like, a nun that's been in the nunnery, or, been in the church for years, and, like, is finally getting out, and the first movie she sees is Terrifier 3, yeah, maybe she might need a barf bag, but people on, like, TikTok and social media are kind of, like, pretty much just making their videos to get views, to like say, oh, this movie is so crazy, people are barfing and leaving the theater and things like that. The theater I was in, no one left. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see anybody run out going, "Oh my God, this is so disgusting." But it was still fun. It was a fun experience, you know, watching the movie. It was not as long as part 2 or anything like that. And I thought it was really fun. But like there's parts of this movie that it felt like Art the Clown got put to the side a little bit. You know, he's there, he's doing his killing and slashing and stuff like that. But like there's this other character that's in this movie, you know, the one that kind of has their face ripped off and missing an eye and stuff like that. Kind of like, you know, takes over a little bit, and like, you know, Art is kind of like, you know, riding bitch a little bit in this movie. I was just like, oh man, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? But that is what it is on that end. But what else was I gonna say about this movie? Because seeing it with a group of you know, real film fans was a lot of fun, because people know where to, you know, laughing when it's funny, when it's crazy and all that stuff. There's even a part, oh, and people want to know, do they kill any kids in this movie? Yes, they do, but it's off screen. You know what I mean? Or like suggested, you know, like you hear it. You know what I mean? You don't really see it. You know what I mean? Like how, like like a grown adult would get like a chainsaw up the ass crack, or like, you know, up like you know, getting someone's like, you know, tits chopped off and stuff. Yeah, you see that. But like you don't like you know, see the kids getting killed. Like it's implied, you hear it, but you don't really like, you know, see like Art, you know, or whoever is like, you know, chopping off kids' arms and legs and stuff. It's not happening in here. They do get killed, but you just don't see it. You know what I mean? So like people that are uptight about that kind of stuff, they can, you know, to me, they can all eat a dick. You know what I'm saying? I thought the movie was cool. The opening was pretty rad. You know, pretty cool. And I just love David Howard Thornton, dude. You know what I mean? I think he's a real cool, charismatic guy. And for having a part in a movie, that, you know, pretty much this whole franchise started with All Hallows Eve and some short films and stuff, and of course went to Terrifier. Had different actor at first playing Art the Clown, but David Howard Thornton, man, for not having like any speaking lines, just being like a mime kind of character, he's pretty solid, man. He's a pretty solid dude and really kind person who I met a couple times at different conventions and stuff throughout the last couple years. Really nice guy, man. Really super cool dude. And what's it called? Damien Leone, the director of the movie, man, he's pretty cool too. But you know, I didn't like love the movie. Like, you know, I'm gonna give it like a 10 out of 10 or anything like that. I'm not gonna be that person that's be like, oh, it's the best movie on the planet, because it's kind of hard to be the best movie on the planet. You know, I rated this movie a 6 when I walked out of the theater. I would give it like, yeah, 6.5, 7. It's a solid horror flick if you're going in there for the gore. You know, we're obviously not going into these kind of movies for big stories or anything like that. And there's some sort of like weird, like you know, mystical thing going on too. You know what I mean? With like one or two of the dead people, and like, you know, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun. But I want to know your guys' thoughts on Terrifier 3. Did you guys see it yet? Because I know it's opening in theaters later on this week everywhere. So hopefully you guys check it out and come back to this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts if you guys saw it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Sorry, I know my review videos are never like super thought out and things like that. These are kind of like sporadic, and just my mind, you know, my mind goes to different topics every couple seconds. But hey, that's how I do it. That's how I roll with my YouTube videos. If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your favorite kill was in part 3 or in the franchise in general. And I'll see you guys on the next one.